Episode 15 of Forecasting Love and Weather begins with Siwoo talking to Hawkeye's mother about his past. He hesitates, eventually admitting that his dad doesn't work and that his mother has passed away. She doesn't probe further though, as he sits in silence, thinking about his past. At the same time, Hawkeye happens to be at the hospital where Siwoo's dad decides to discharge himself without having any scans done. Hawkeye refuses to give him any money and urges the man to get a biopsy scan, just in case there's anything wrong with him. Eventually he leaves, asking Hawkeye not to tell Siwoo about this. When she heads home, Hawkeye finds her mother on the sofa, who admits she's glad that she and Siwoo broke up, revealing that she's spoken to him. Keeping this from Siwoo, Hawkeye continues to talk to his father behind his back, who heads in for the biopsy after all. While she keeps secrets, so too does Siwoo as he happens to be staying at the KMA. He tells not to tell anyone where he's been, especially Hawkeye. Although when Siwoo makes it to the office, Hawkeye hands over his phone and mentions her mum, sending the office into a wave of amused looks and whispers, as they believe the pair are getting closer. The truth is, Siwoo and Hawkeye are not on great terms, and Siwoo is still vehemently against speaking to his father. Hawkeye urges him to talk to the man, knowing his condition, but Siwoo spits back that he has no intention of seeing his dad. And he doesn't regret his actions either. While the news predicts that things are going to be quite cold over the next day and then get better, Kai-jun and Yoo-jin head to work. They deliberate over whether to have their baby or not, with Kai-jun all for it, but Yoo-jin admitting she's not ready and feels underprepared. So naturally, Kai-jun starts looking at baby photos and checking the cost of formula milk online, while he's at his desk. At the same time, Tae-kyung hurries out to meet Seok-ho. However, her mother is still down in the dumps, reflecting on what happened with Siwoo and worrying for Hawkeye's future. Seok-ho and Tae-kyung eventually end up fighting as they discuss the latter's books. Their fight eventually turns to kissing, as the best moment of the whole episode ensues. Tae-kyung and Seok-ho are giggling, kissing, as they tumble through the door and land on the ground together. However, her mum happens to be there and sees them together, angry and shocked. Back at the KMA, something strange is happening with the ensemble weather. Siwoo believes they need to overturn the forecast that's been issued already, and Hawkeye agrees with him. News of this reaches Yoo-jin too, who's encouraged to head back to the KMA and report on this. The thing is, changing the forecast like this is a massive deal, and it could turn her whole team against her. Hawkeye is prepared to weather that storm though, as Kai-jun takes to the news and broadcasts out that the cold weather is going to continue through the weekend. Hawkeye continues to keep her conversations with Siwoo's father a secret, who's taken aback when he learns she and Siwoo have broken up. Siwoo admits to Hawkeye that he always acts like a kid when his father is brought up. Hawkeye forgives him for the misunderstanding as the pair hug. Siwoo eventually admits he still likes her a lot, and wonders whether breaking up was really the best thing or not. Ah yes, a relationship built on lies and misunderstandings, how could this possibly go wrong? Their little chat is broken up by drama in the KMA office, as a massive verbal fight breaks out between Hawkeye and the director of Chief Team 1. He pushes her, and as things escalate, Siwoo gets involved. Seok-ho rings and urges him to come back to the office for some reason, although that's obviously not the right time given he's on his way to seeing his daughter. Earlier in the episode sorted out a reservation for his daughter and wife, determined to make good on his promise last episode to actually do right by them. So naturally, he bails on the pair and chooses work again. So much for him making a change and putting his family first. Back at the office, the director is knocked out by Siwoo by accident, leading to a big understanding. The whole thing is made into a comedic affair as Dad of the Year shows up to direct traffic. Given he's the second most senior member of this team, starts ranting about how he could have been eating dinner, and how bad he feels before actually normally, joking and laughing about at the office, giving thumbs up and high fives over resolving this situation. Elsewhere, Kai-jun admits that he's not ready to be a dad, but is prepared to do the best he can for their child. However, he'll respect Yoo-jin's decision to do whatever she wants to do. Hand in hand, they walk together, solidified in their attempts to press through this heartache they're feeling. However, that night Yoo-jin wakes up with horrid stomach cramps. She could well be having a miscarriage. Meanwhile, Hawkeye drives Siwoo up to the hospital to see his father, who happens to be undergoing tests. It's not good news. He's got stage 3 cancer, and it seems he's been in a lot of pain for a while because of this. When Siwoo finds out, he heads into the room, struggling to hold back tears as he says, "Why are you doing this to me?" However, the police show up after a report has been called in for self-inflicted injury. Was this Siwoo's doing? Forecasting love and weather bows out with another poor episode, one that butchers the characters we've learned so much about. The worst happens to be Senior who skips out on meeting his daughter and mother to resolve a childish fight. Why did he need to be there? He's not even the most senior member of the team, and it ruins what little redemptive qualities he had left. This whole arc was pointless, and it's made worse by high-fiving and smiling with the others after their big triumph over the director of Team 1. It just feels very disingenuous for his character, something that's only bogged down further by the pointless romance between Siwoo and Hawkeye. The pair have been hot coal for most of this season, and now it seems like they're getting back together again. Yay. It's a shame, because this show definitely started brightly but, since then it's petered out and turned into a really mediocre, at best, slog. Hopefully the finale can deliver a show-stopping episode, but based on this showing, I wouldn't hold your breath.